One way of responding to this is to talk about the individual person. And certainly there's so many stories where I would see somebody and maybe work with them once. And in my practice, where I would see 10, 12, 14 people a day, um, and every day, day in, day out, about half of them were just new visits. So I had many people that would come back a year later, and while I didn't remember them per se, without looking into the record, they would say something like, you helped me turn my whole life around. So that's pretty powerful when you hear that. But I think the story I most want to share is the story of New Zealand. And Kirk and I started working with them in 2017. And we did a proof of concept study where we put in place a model of care called the primary care behavioral health model. And we brought in new clinicians. They were clinicians with different backgrounds, psychologists, social workers, occupational therapists, mental health nurses, and we trained them to work in the primary care behavioral health model, and they were all trained in fact as well. And then they went into their primary care clinics or general practice clinics and began working. The project was evaluated extensively by independent evaluators, and the results were so impressive because not only did most people improve, but also we saw health equity. So Maori and Pacific Islanders improved at the same rates or even better than the overall sample. They also accessed care at the same rates. So that is a wonderful story about the benefits of FACT. The Ministry of Health then funded a national study of this approach, and based on the results of that study, then funded the scale up of this approach. Jacinda Ardern said back in 2019 that all people in New Zealand would have access to, they call them health improvement providers, trained in fact within 5 years. And we're getting really close to it. I think about 70% of the country have access at this moment.
Join Dr. Strosahl and Dr. Robinson for applied FACT training. Sign up via Eventbrite using the link in the video description. Alternatively, for more information, visit actnow.co through the website link, also available in the description below.